Hello, friends. Welcome you all. Good morning, all of you. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the sectoral growth of Indian economy, the performance of different sectors, the what is going on that particular sector. In that, we have seen agricultural sector, industrial sector, then human development sector, the performance of in the export import and in service sector, and also we have discussed the current the banking sector also. So in this current lecture we are going to see the challenges before Indian economy. Let me discuss first the challenges created by COVID-19 before Indian economy, and later on we will discuss the challenges before COVID-19. What were the basic challenges before Indian economy, excluding this COVID-19 crisis. Let us discuss first the yesterday's article published in Economic Times. The Moody projects Indian economy to contract 11.5% this fiscal year. So the global rating agency, Moody, the top rating agency means it. You have learned in the second year, that is what is credit rating agency in corporate banking. Credit rating agencies are companies or the agency which allot the ratings according to the performance. It allots rating to companies, then government, then to banks. So credit rating means the like a NAC allots the rating to the college, A plus, A, then B plus, like that. Moody's and credit rating agencies also allot uh, ratings to the economy and to the business, to the government also. So global rating agency Moody's revised its forecast of India's growth to a double digit contraction at 11.5% during the fiscal year. So the Moody forecasting that Indian economy will decrease by 11.5% again. It raised its expectations of the economy's performance in the coming fiscal to 11.6% from 8.7% earlier. So the coming fiscal year is the Moody giving the forecast that the coming next fiscal year is good for Indian economy, but now in this current fiscal year, Indian economy will decrease. Moody cited the severe impact of the lockdown. So lockdown, because of the COVID-19, severely will impact Indian economy, and we have seen released data, 23.9% fall in April June quarter in the gross domestic product, that is GDP. Many global institutions have downgraded their expectations since the release of the first quarter result. So in the first quarter result, Indian economy decreased by 23.9% fall. So it is very serious condition of the economy. Investment bank Goldman Sachs also projected the growth, financial year 21 growth at minus 14.8%, while Japanese brokerage Nomura revised its forecast to minus 10.8%. So again the severe condition can become. uh, in its monthly review for August, the finance ministry said the worst was behind us. Means the finance ministry saying that the worst has gone now, and India was witnessing a V-shaped recovery. V-shaped recovery means it has achieved a bottom, and now it will recover. So the finance ministry saying that it is witnessing a V-shaped recovery. Such indicators such as the manufacturing purchasing manager, that is PMI, auto sale, and railway freight since June are some indicators showing that recovery. So this is the review given by economic review given by Finance Ministry. So on June 1st, Moody's downgraded India's sovereign credit rating. What is sovereign credit rating? Sovereign credit rating means it is given to the country, whole country, or to the government, to a Baa3 with a negative outlook from Baa2. So it is rating decreased, pushing the country to the lowest rung of investment grade rating for all three major global rating agencies, including S&P. S&P means Standard and Poor, and Fitch rating, and Moody's also. These are the top credit rating agencies. All of three downgraded India's sovereign credit rating. The report cited the relatively high growth potential of India's large and diversified economy and the wide and stable domestic financing base for government debt as positive for its rating profile. So there are some positive signs, that positive things in the report. They are saying that India have the growth potential because of the large and diversified economy, that is internal demand and wide and stable domestic financing base. So these are the some positive things, but this is the gloomy outlook. What will happen? That revised in financial year 2022 forecast is, it is 10% to the 8.7% to 10.6% Indian economy will grow. Means in 2022 the Indian economy's growth rate will be good. It is a forecasting given by these some authorities. But in credit rating at risk, means credit rating can become again down because of the high debt and financial sector stress, because the banks are in a stress because of COVID-19. And the positive thing is diversified economy and stable domestic financing are some positive things. The serious thing is government deficit, general government deficit. It is hit to 12% of GDP in financial year 2021. Public debt expected at 90% of GDP. So can you imagine 90% of GDP public debt can become? So this is the overall picture given by yesterday's Economic Times in that particular article. uh, some fiscal metrics are deteriorating further as lower growth implied weaker revenue while the government expenditure continues to rise. So government have to borrow from the market because of the lockdown and this COVID crisis. The revenue become weaker and weaker. So revenue growth, at the one hand revenue declining, and on the other hand government's expenditure continually rising. So this is the situation on the government front. The sharp decline in the growth will result in materially weaker government revenue. So growth creates revenue for the government, but because of the economic activity are not very fast, means the growth rate declining, production rate declining, so government's revenue is also declining. And on the other hand the government expenditure is continually rising because of the COVID crisis. And all the situation going on. The center's deficit would touch 7.5% of GDP, while the figure would be 4.5% for states. States general deficit also it's going to increase now. Moody said pegging general government debt to hit 19.1% of GDP this fiscal. So the you can imagine the debt of government will hit 19.1%. This is the forecast given by Moody, not by any one the top rating agency. So the serious condition can be arise in the future. So the what are the current challenges before Indian economy? Let us discuss with one by one. The first is the fight will be about increasing economic activity. So with increasing um, the challenge is to increase economic activities. With the lockdown, the economic activity came to a grinding halt in India. So, economic activity stopped sometimes for because of the lockdown, and from the end of March, domestic consumption almost wiped out. So, domestic consumption it's completely wiped out for some time, and now with the opening of lockdown it is slightly increasing, but many economic activities are um, stopped now. Pay cuts and layoffs. Pay cuts means the companies are continuously cutting the payments of employees. Layoffs means to cut the employees in the company. So there are the layoffs in many companies. So because of the loss of employment and pay cuts, it is affecting the domestic consumptions also, combined with fear of spread, led to lack of shopping and completely eroded demand. So demand is decreasing continuously, and you have studied in the business economics in the second year. When demand decreases, all the things economic activities also decreases, because demand uh, leads to production increases employment again gives the income for people, and again people with that particular income increases the demand. So demand is very important in the economy. So when demand decreases, then it is the sign of uh, the economic slowing activities. So demand and domestic consumption completely wiped out, and it is creating again crisis. While the non discretionary spending on groceries and other essential items remained largely unscathed during the lockdown. So, the revival in consumption will be driven by discretionary as well as non discretionary spending. Despite the Indian government decision to remove most of the demand scenario is expected to remain weak for most of the current financial year, but it could make a comeback next year. And as the uncertainty surrounding income and jobs reduces, economists believe that some people will be able to raise their discretionary spending on non-essential goods during festive season, and uh, following into 2021. So the in the festive season the demand will raise. This is the forecasting, some opinions by economists. Next challenge is increase in employment. The depth of the slowdown in the current financial year means that a rebound is inevitable. but unemployment could hamper the recovery process. The issue of migrant workers will have an impact on the economic growth and the availability of quality workers in the post COVID-19 world will be a challenge. India should be wary of the challenges in smooth recovery in labor markets. While GDP in India was growing, employment remains stagnant, and if this trend continues, it's another problem. Without a boost in employment, household income will be under strain, consumer sentiments will be low, and the economic recovery will be sluggish. So, the demand is very important. So, uh, increase in employment is the major challenge in India because a lot of population pressure is there, and before COVID-19 Indian economy was in the slowdown, and again COVID-19 impacted Indian economy and employment continuously decreasing. So increase in employment is the major challenge created by COVID-19. Then next challenge is MSME challenge of credit and demand. Small and medium enterprises creates a lot of employment to unskilled and skilled workers also, for locally labor also. It uses local raw materials. MSME require less capital compared to big enterprises. So, challenge of credit and demand. Some of the MSMEs which were impacted by GST and demonetization haven't still recovered. The damaging impact on smaller businesses challenges has exacerbated with the reduction of household expenditure owing to COVID-19 and drying up of cash flow and investment. So MSME sector is again in the problem. The government has chosen the credit and monetary policy route to boost the economic growth rather than the fiscal mode. The $266 billion COVID-19 package, which focuses on indirect measures like providing access to credit and infusion of equity, may provide relief. But is it enough to support micro, small, and medium enterprises? Because even if they are able to restart their businesses, their ability to bounce back is connected to revival of the demand. So demand is very important again. If sales remain too tepid, they might not be able to repay the debt even. So the serious condition is with micro and small enterprises. The next challenge is virus complications. So not just the MSME, India's aviation and hospitality, travel and tourism, fashion and lifestyle, auto industry have been facing their own set of problems. The revival in these sector expected to take much longer and will have a cascading effect on the overall economy. So the each sector is depend on each other, so every sector is depend on other sector. So when travel and tourism reduced, then hospitality sector reduced, means every sector is depend on other sectors. There is the interconnection link between these sectors. So when one sector is affected by COVID-19, other sector also affected by that particular effect, because that sector is depend on other sector. So there is a cascading effect on the overall economy. So overall all businesses are grappling with losses reduction. The reopening of the economies posing fresh challenges as the spread of the virus is gaining pace. Despite the relaxation in the restrictions, the economic activities limping back to normality, and the extent of the dent would emanate from the longevity of the COVID-19. If lockdown gets reimposed or restrictions enhanced or extended, then it could lead to the delay or derailment of the recovery process. So virus again making complications in the Indian economy. So let's discuss the conclusion. These are the challenges before Indian economy created by COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic is a significant shock to economies all around the world, not only India, but Indian economy is in the very serious condition. Even the major economies like the USA have been badly affected. It is the unemployment rising, and a cut in economic growth. US economy given $3 trillion stimulus, but still uh, unemployment is rising, and not the recovery process is not taking place. The pandemic has caused a shock for the Indian economy as well. Consumption, manufacturing, export, capital flow, the legs on which the Indian economy had been growing have all been impacted adversely. So the COVID-19 created the many challenges before Indian economy. India came out of lockdown about 2 months back, with restrictions still in many parts of the country are there. There is no magic quick fix or shortcut to stimulate and restart demand in an economy, which is the most important key to economic revival next to vaccine becoming available. So it is all depend on vaccine. But now if you read the newspapers and current news about vaccines, serum institute of pune Serum Institute of Pune and some other the vaccine making companies have announced to stop their trial of COVID vaccine, because virus becoming again complicated. So it is again very uncertainty created by these virus complications. So this will take time, patience, and continuous efforts. This uncertainty, what will be the key to revival is how people come out of their homes, how people restart their lives, how will it impact demand organically, and availability of capital when businesses are ready to kickstart production to service demand, and all is depend on the revival of the demand. So uh, this is the challenge. These are the challenges created by COVID-19 for the Indian economy. So in the next lecture, I am going to discuss the challenges before COVID-19. So that much in this today's lecture. If you have any queries, questions, you can mail me. You have to mention your name and roll number in the comment box. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.